Wow. Barbarian is a brand new 2022 horror film directed by Zach Kreger, starring Georgina Campbell, Bill Skarsgård, and Justin Long. And yeah, this is probably one of the craziest movies of the entire year. If you have not seen any trailers for this movie, don't. It doesn't give away a whole bunch, but I would highly recommend going into this movie as blind as possible. So without further introduction, let's go ahead and start off this review, starting off with the good. And I really love this movie. It was one hell of a ride from beginning to end. And starting off with the good, we have Georgina Campbell as the main girl in this movie, and she was really good here. I really loved her performance. I don't think I've seen her in anything else. If I have, I just don't remember it. I've slept since then. I don't have a very good memory, leave me alone. But she does an absolutely terrific job. I love her performance in this movie. Then you have Bill Skarsgård as well, and he does a really good job. It was really nice to see him in a role other than Pennywise, even though it's kind of weird to see him as a role not Pennywise, because he's become so synonymous with the role of Pennywise that you forget how good of an actor he is outside of that role. But he does really good. I really like his chemistry with Georgina Campbell. And then you have Justin Long in this movie, and he does a really great job as well. Basically, it's become a rule of thumb: if Justin Long signs on to be in your horror movie is probably gonna be good. Jeepers Creepers was directed by an absolutely terrible person, I will admit that, but Justin Long was in it, and that movie turned out to be pretty good, despite Victor Salva being a terrible person. Drag Me to Hell, one of Sam Raimi's best movies, has Justin Long. One of the best movies by Sam Raimi. And there's probably a few others I am forgetting to mention, but Justin Long does a terrific job in this movie as well. He's not introduced until about the second half of the movie, but he does a great job. And I really like the way he plays this absolutely scummy character who has done terrible things and is unapologetic about it. Kind of like a certain defamation trial that went on earlier this year that I'm not gonna get into. But I really liked the way he played the character. He's absolutely vile. But I just really enjoyed the story of this movie. I'm not going to get into specifics about what's going on because the twists are absolutely wild, and I'm not going to spoil that experience for anybody else who has not seen this movie yet. I really want everybody to see this movie as blind as possible. But I'm just going to say the story is absolutely terrific. The twists are wild. Not one point in this movie was I expecting any twist that actually came up. I did not know anything about what was going to happen at one point in this movie. And that's another thing that I just really loved about this movie as well. The score was terrific, the set design was creepy, the atmosphere was terrific. I love the suspense that builds throughout the film. And on top of all that, this has just been a really great year for horror films. Between this movie, Nope, X, The Black Phone, Men, it's just been a really great year for horror. And we're not even done, because Pearl comes out this upcoming weekend. Halloween Ends comes out in October. It's just going to be a really great year for horror, and probably going to be the best year for horror in my entire lifetime, so far at least. But that's about all for the good. Let's go on to the bad, and I don't really have anything bad about this movie. It's just a badass horror film. So final thoughts, I really love Barbarian. It's one of the best movies of the year. Terrific acting, great suspense. So if you have not seen Barbarian yet, I highly recommend checking it out. It's one of the best movies of the year, and I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. So that was my review for Barbarian. Have you seen this movie yet? Let me know down in the comments what you thought about it. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend checking it out as early as possible. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.